And we are back with another episode of Straight Out the Lou. As always, I'm Dylan, joined by Luke and Chris. And today, on March 3rd, we have some NBA action to recap and look forward to. Some NFL QB prospect news to talk about. Some college hoops action to recap and look forward to as well. And also, a Bruins game tonight against the Washington Capitals.
Yes.
All right, so the Celtics are now in fourth place after being out of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference just a few days ago. Last night they had a great win, right?
Yeah, it was a fake win, but I'll take it. They're playing a little bit better. They win against the Pacers. That was just a miracle. I can't believe they won that game. Kemba Walker has been looking pretty good.
Great player.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well. Maybe he's getting off that injury a little bit. The two games against Washington and the Clippers, you take the wins. Obviously, you're in fourth place now in the Great Eastern Conference.
It's loaded.
Yeah, but those were fake wins. If you look at the Washington game, if the mop guy did his job correctly, the Celtics lose that game. And also, I do want to give credit, though. Brad Stevens, 3 great plays at the end, and Jason Tatum made a couple tough shots at the end. So that did help. And last night, no Kawhi Leonard, so that was a fake win. But the bottom line is that the difference is when they move the ball, they win games, and when they play hero ball with Tatum and Brown and Kemba to a lesser extent, they lose games. I talked about the assist numbers last week. They had 29 assists against Washington. They were high again last night. So as long as they do that, they're going to keep winning games, and they'll be able to stay in the top 4 in the loaded Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I'm impressed. A lot of these games, the last 3 games have been fairly close games.
Yeah, they've closed them out.
Fairly close games. Been able to close out games for sure. Against the Wizards, obviously, Tatum had the go-ahead bucket. They stopped Beal with a double team at the end there, although he almost made the shot.
That would have been ridiculous.
But I think that winning these games by close margins definitely builds confidence.
Absolutely.
Definitely builds a different sort of confidence than blowouts would. You're able to understand, okay, this is our floor, and this is where we got to be to get going to where we want to go.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're fake wins, though. There's no denying it. Those are 3 fake wins. I mean, obviously it's good for a team to get some confidence, I guess, as Dylan was alluding to, but still fake wins. I mean, if you watch the games, you could tell. I mean, Tice isn't going to bail you out.
This is true, but we've had our share of games this year where the other team has had fake wins against us.
Yeah.
It's like the Dallas game where Luka Doncic made 2 most ridiculous shots in the history of the NBA against us. So, it's gone both ways. It's finally started to even out for us. 18 and 17, they're really an elite team.
They're above even.
We are above 500. It's a miracle. And the key, Kemba Walker, when he plays well, they win. Usually.
Yeah, it's like once in a
he's been playing better. He's been very consistent over the last week. He's got to keep doing that.
I mean, like you were saying, you need a third piece.
Absolutely.
Right? He's supposed to be the third piece. If he plays to his role, as he should, they win games like this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they might be, not real wins or whatever you're going to call them, but
Yeah.
they still show up in the win column.
And last thing on the Celtics, happy 19th birthday to Jason Tatum.
That's right.
He's getting up there now.
Yeah.
He's really a young goat, as they say. He's congrats on 19. It's awesome.
One more thing real quick. Robert Williams. This is the perfect time to trade Robert Williams because he's playing really well right now. His stock is never going to get higher than this. They can package him with a couple other terrible players for a decent player, like a decent 3rd or 4th option. This is the time to do it right now.
It's Danny Ainge, so.
Yeah, it's true.
Tatum replacing Durant in the starting lineup. Do we like that?
No, it's a disgrace to the game of basketball. Because you get a guy like Damian Lillard on the other side, even though I'm not a Damian Lillard fan, who's not starting, and he's just clearly a better player than Jason Tatum. So if you're going to do the East and the West and you're going to draft starters, at least just elect 20 All-Stars instead of doing it by East and West. Because there are some guys in the West that are, mainly because they don't really play as much defense out there in the West, but they have better numbers, and Damian Lillard is a better player than Jason Tatum, so I don't know. I mean, I guess he's the best option. I would have put Jaylen Brown in.
No, they did it by votes.
They did it by votes.
It was like the next vote getter at the forward position.
Yeah.
But it's a joke. I mean, first of all, how's
He's
this
gotta
guy even an all-star? How is he an all-star? The guy sucks. Yeah, he can't. I mean, he was terrible last night. First of all.
Yeah, what do you have? 14 points.
Yeah, 14 last night. What was the other game? The Indiana game. I think he was
It's
terrible.
single digits.
He had seven.
It's single digits.
I mean, they won that game because Kemba bailed them out. But
Tice.
and Tice. I mean, he's clutch. But this is a disgrace. I don't even know how he's an all-star, and now he's starting. Like, give me a break. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I do like what you just said about the selection process though,
Yeah.
for the All-Star game. If you're going to make it a draft, you shouldn't have any sort of East-West selection
No, just have
for the rosters.
Just have the
at
best
all.
25 players or whatever, how many they have on the rosters.
I mean, that'd be the best product. It really would. Another thing, though, they do play defense in the West. It's just better
Only is
offense.
selective.
Better offense is always going to beat good defense.
Some teams do.
Some
the
teams
Lakers,
do.
the Lakers don't, and the Clippers decide not to for some reason, even though they should. It's really embarrassing
The
watching.
Mavs don't play defense.
The
Yeah,
Nuggets.
the Mavs are they're just bad.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're just
They were
bad.
good last
Bad
year, though,
defense.
man. You know, yeah. I mean,
the Nuggets,
all these
the
East
Nuggets
teams,
are horrible at defense.
all these Eastern Conference teams play defense.
But there is
They just
also,
don't have
definitely
scores.
is.
They don't
Definitely.
have scores though.
there's also more talent out there in the,
Yeah,
the West. I will say that, but
The good offense in the NBA is going to beat the good defense every time.
you get the number 6 player in the Eastern Conference, so I mean, Jimmy Butler. He's
Jimmy Butler,
not even
number
an
6.
all-star.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
yeah, due to COVID though. It was COVID related.
Well, Jason Tatum had COVID.
COVID related.
It was COVID related.
COVID related. Another NBA news. We had a Sunday primetime matchup this past Sunday with the Warriors going to Staples to play the Lakers.
And what a
Coming
primetime
off-
game it was.
What a primetime game it was. We had a 3-game winning streak going into the game, which should have been a telltale sign for all bettors, all sports fans,
Which we don't
all
have.
viewers of the game, that the Warriors are going to lose. Because, I mean, as we know, as we've discussed here, this is not a team that likes to string wins together.
No, absolutely not.
They hadn't won 3 in a row until that winning streak. So, obviously, they were set up to lose. They were just set up to lose. But they weren't necessarily set up to lose by 30 points. That's where it gets a little concerning, and that's where you start to see the streakiness of this team come into play. I mean, it is a big-time momentum team. When the bench guys aren't scoring in the second quarter, it just, you lose all the wind in your sails. You can't really recover from it. And then guys just start keying only on Curry, and then you don't have Oubre making some shots. It's a very slippery slope with this team when they're not playing well. And then it's the exact opposite of that when they are. Got to find the middle ground. I thought the return of the big men would kind of lead to that middle ground being a little more prominent right away. I think it will down the road a little bit more, just kind of work them back in. And then I think the floor becomes a little higher. But as of right now, still a very low floor team with a high ceiling at the same time. So there's a lot of room to kind of move around in the middle right now. But I like where they're going. Tonight we have the Trailblazers in Portland. The Warriors are favored by 1.5 points on the road, which is, I think, somewhat generous against this Trailblazers team that's been playing pretty well, right, guys?
Yeah. No McCollum. I'm not too surprised. They hammered him last time. I'm not too surprised, actually, by them being favored for this game. Damian Lillard doesn't really play well against Curry, historically.
Well, this is another team. Portland just doesn't play any defense. I mean,
they definitely don't.
yeah. I mean, I think Portland's better, but you have a guy like Lillard. That's what happens.
I would.
When the Warriors, they just go out and they play hard every night. Like, what Portland team are you going to get?
I know.
Are they going to come out and play hard, or are they going to lay down?
I know. I mean, if I was a Warriors fan, though, I wouldn't be concerned about it. You're playing LeMickey on a primetime game, and he's going to get all those calls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean,
especially
you
on a
expected
prime
that.
time.
You expected that. The Lakers just lost like 3 or 4.
4 in a row or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's an okay loss.
it's an all right loss. But Luke, your take from over break when we were at home about the Suns being a top 5 team.
Exactly.
After they had lost 6 of their last 8 games, Luke comes out with his genie prediction,
Exactly.
his 8-ball prediction,
great
and has the Suns as a top 5 team. Last night, after the Lakers blow out the Warriors on Sunday night, the Suns play the Lakers, and the Suns, with Devin Booker being ejected over a crazy call, which we will talk about in a second here.
Ridiculous.
But without Devin Booker for much of the second half, the Suns come out and beat the Lakers by 10 points in Staples.
You guys got to stop doubting my NBA takes here. It's Miami, now Phoenix right here. Chris, I remember Chris specifically saying, "Oh, what are we just throwing out random teams now?" After I talked about Phoenix, This is a great basketball team. They move the ball really well. They got a lot of guys that are lanky and long, and they play good defense. That's a team that does play defense in the Western Conference. I'm not a big Aiden fan. I think he actually kind of holds the team back a little bit. He struggles with
DeAndre
Aiden, yeah, with his post moves, and his defense isn't great. But guys like Mikal Bridges, the Jackson dude, I think, or Sarge. They just got a good team. Chris Paul is a good leader. I don't know if he's a great playoff leader, but I know he's good. He's a good leader. He'll get to them. And Devin Booker's been playing great. Who got thrown out of the game for bounce passing the ball to an official? I've never seen anything like it before. Michael Felder needs to take over as commissioner of sports. This is ridiculous. That's all I have to say on the matter. He bounced past the ball to the referee, and he got thrown out of the game, just like J.J. Redick did against the Celtics a couple weeks ago. This is outrageous. I can't do it. Such a bad product.
I mean, yeah, the Suns, they're a good team. That was a good take by Luke. I'll give them credit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're a solid team. I'm not sure if they're. I mean, with how good the West is, we'll see if they get out of the second round. But
it's a good accomplishment.
They're a good team. As for the call, I mean, Devin Booker has to know. I mean, the ref set a precedent a couple weeks ago with J.J. Redick when he passed the ball to the official, and that was apparently too much and got ejected.
Yeah, you got to put it on the ground, right? You
just have to place it on the ground or roll it to him. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, he has to know.
Yeah, he was definitely chirping the referee.
Which is ridiculous, because that should be allowed.
Yeah, I mean, you see LeBron do it every night.
LeMickey.
It should be, there should be no chirping, because here's the bottom line. If they make a bad call, the ref's suspended. And if you complain about a call, you're ejected. Yeah. So, I mean, there should be no complaining either way. There should be all good calls.
This is why we need Michael Felder.
Exactly. There should be no problems. This is easy.
Yeah, we need the ref suspensions in the NBA ASAP to improve the product.
Exactly.
It's the only solution. It's the only way out.
I agree.
So, NFL QB prospect news. So, today, Phil Simms, a guy
Chris Simms.
Excuse me.
Phil Simms would be too stupid to make that list.
Yeah.
Chris Simms put out a QB prospect list, which had BYU quarterback Zach Wilson as the number one quarterback prospect in this draft.
Yes, the Mormon Mahomes.
Ahead of Trevor Lawrence. He had Mac Jones at number 3. And then he puts Kellen Mond of Texas A&M above Justin Fields and Trey Lance. Mind you, this is the guy who said that Lamar would be the best quarterback out of 2018, Josh Allen the second, Baker the third, and in 2017, he had Mahomes over Watson and Trubisky. So the track record is there somewhat.
Well, I've been talking about this a little bit about his great prediction about what it was: Lamar first, Allen second, Baker third. Right?
It's reasonable.
Who was the best quarterback in the playoffs?
Allen.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is the correct answer to that question. He was the best quarterback in the playoffs, followed by Allen, followed by Lamar. So let's not get on the high horses saying that this guy's all right about everything.
You look at the whole body of work. It's
pretty solid. He definitely passed on Sam Darnold. I get that. But the Mormon Mahomes is not the best quarterback in this draft. The thing about this list, it just infuriates me so much that this guy, Kellen Mond, is here. He literally threw every pass as a 4-yard dink, which is fine. Like, he gets the job done. This guy's not an NFL quarterback. You're going to tell me this guy's more NFL ready than Justin Fields? I'm sorry. If this list is right, if this list ends up being right, I will bow down to this man. But if it's not, I don't want to hear anything else about this guy's draft quarterback rankings. And Trevor Lawrence isn't one?
Yeah.
What is this? Come on. When did everybody decide that this dude sucks? When did that get decided? I hear all these dudes on ESPN. What's his name? Ryan Clark.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Talking about the head-to-heads.
Oh
right?
my god.
The head-to-heads.
Did this guy? Did he play football? Right. That's why he's on the show.
I guess.
Yeah. No one knows who he is. So, absolutely ridiculous. These guys should be fired. They should be fired for this. This is ridiculous. I can't believe so you watch these games. You watch Zach Wilson score 10 points for his Coastal Carolina, and you're going to tell me he's not a better quarterback? He's a better quarterback than Trevor Lawrence? Oh, because he didn't have the weapons at BYU. Why is he at BYU? He wasn't good enough to go to a Power 5 school. Sorry, that's how it is. Trevor Lawrence is the best quarterback prospect we might have seen of all time. Peyton Manning, and then probably Trevor Lawrence. This is disgraceful. The guy has one bad game, and it wasn't even a bad game, or was it just Ohio State's defensive line dominating? If you're going to say, I acknowledge the Patrick Mahomes argument that his offensive line wasn't good. I get that. But you can't say that, these guys are Trevor Lawrence is down because he couldn't get the ball out of Ohio State. Yeah, because he's getting sacked every 2 seconds. So you can't have it both ways with Mahomes and Lawrence. This guy is way more like Patrick Mahomes than Zach Wilson is. I don't get it.
I agree with that. I think Lawrence is the best prospect since Andrew Luck. And
Andrew Luck, yeah, but I think he's better than Luck.
Maybe he is, and I don't understand why Wilson's ahead of him. But this point about Kellen Mond, I heard Tony Maserati compare him to maybe the next Russell Wilson.
But they don't watch college football. We've heard this.
I actually don't mind him being ahead of Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is supremely overrated.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, of course you do.
Well, listen, he only throws to his first read.
Who do you root for?
Listen,
Who do you root for?
He only throws to his first read.
Who do you root for?
I root for Michigan.
Okay.
I root for Michigan.
Very unbiased.
Listen, he tore us up his junior or a couple years
without
ago.
a leg.
And then he refused to play us this year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So
he was the main guy who led the Let's Play movement and then dropped 40 in the college football playoff with 6
He just
touchdowns.
throws to his first read. Throws to his first read. I think that game of the playoff was good. I like Trey Lance better than Mon though. But I think Justin Fields. I don't think he's going to be a very good quarterback.
That's ridiculous.
He's an athletic guy.
That's ridiculous.
He's got a lot of arm talent, but he's not. He doesn't read defenses very well. That's what I've been breaking down a lot of NFL film. That's what I do in my free time.
Okay.
I just watch film. But I can tell you from what I've heard from these analysts, he does not read defenses as well as anybody.
From what? From Ryan Clark?
No,
did you hear from Ryan Clark?
Listen, I've heard it from a lot
Or
of
Zolak.
various sources have told me he does not read defenses as well as anybody on this list.
Well,
But that
you also have Patrick Mahomes saying his rookie season.
Patrick Mahomes who said he doesn't know how to read defense.
No, he doesn't have the arm talent that Patrick Mahomes does.
He can throw the ball just as far as Patrick Mahomes.
He does not have the arm talent.
Yes, he does.
I watched Justin Fields playing against Northwestern.
Well, my sources-
every single throw.
Yeah, he had a broken
Oh yeah,
he had a bad game.
Yeah,
He had a bad game.
Yeah, that shouldn't happen against Northwestern. I know they had a decent defense, but
He
that
had a
just
bad
shouldn't
game.
happen.
I'm not denying that he had a bad game. He played
He's
bad.
not
What about Kellen
even
Mond
close.
throwing for like 10 yards against freaking whoever they played, UNC?
Well,
Phil
they won
Jurgens
that
looked
game.
better.
They won that game.
Oh yeah, they won.
They
that
did.
game.
Did they beat UNC?
Didn't Ohio State beat
Yeah,
Northwestern?
didn't Justin Fields win?
Yeah, well, that was different.
I just saw Justin.
Didn't he beat Clemson?
I saw Justin
was-
Fields
he
in the
played
national
well that
championship.
game.
I saw
Yeah.
Justin Fields in the national championship game. He played with a broken ribs and threw 4 touchdowns after he broke his ribs.
Oh, the garbage time touchdowns that he had at the end.
The garbage time touchdowns in the Clemson game, in a college football playoff game. Garbage time touchdowns.
No,
No, I'm not talking about that game. I'm talking
He
about
sucked in that game.
He played fine.
He was terrible.
He played
They
fine.
lost. He was terrible.
That doesn't mean he's terrible.
That means he's terrible.
Oh,
He kept
really?
them in until halftime, pretty
So
much.
Zach Wilson's terrible then too.
Zach Wilson's
So
number
Kellen
2.
Mond's then terrible
He should
too
be
because he
second.
lost Alabama too.
Well, that was different. That was early.
Why
in
is
the
it
season.
different? Because he lost.
No, Texas
Ridiculous, ridiculous here.
Texas
this
A&M.
is the same guy who says Jacob DeGrom isn't a good pitcher. This is the same guy. Like, literally, put a clown face on him during this right now, during that segment right there. This is ridiculous. This guy doesn't think Jacob DeGrom's a good pitcher, and now he's saying Justin Fields sucks.
He does.
He does not.
He can't
He
read
threw
defense.
6.
He cannot read defenses. He can't do it. Just cannot do it. I think he's Justin Herbert, to be honest.
Oh,
Well, okay.
I think he's Justin Herbert.
Okay.
Just another Justin
No,
Herbert.
don't start.
That's an embarrassing comparison.
Well,
right there.
I actually had-
That's embarrassing. You're going to compare him to the worst quarterback in the league?
Yes.
Are you?
Oh.
Come on, dude.
I had something else
Are
to
you
say
serious?
about Herbert. Actually,
No,
if you want to talk
no.
about your QB collective thing, I have a comment about
All
that.
right,
Related
yes,
to Herbert.
yes. So related to QB prospect news, so there is a quarterback prospect camp for NFL prospects, college QBs entering the draft. It's a camp called the QB Collective. Coaches such as Mike Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay,
Josh McDaniels.
yeah, LaFleur, Stefanski. A lot of NFL coaches go to this camp and mentor these guys and prepare them for the next level of football, right? So on the Twitter for the Quarterback Collective, they posted a picture of Justin Fields with 5 other prospects and Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan.
Look at Justin Fields getting his work in.
Exactly. Getting his reads right. So Shanahan's there. He's instructing these guys, right? So there's 7 people in this picture. The Quarterback Collective decides to only tag 3 accounts. One of those accounts being the Niners, one of those accounts being Justin Fields, and one of them being the Ohio State Buckeyes. Then, later in the day, the QB Collective tweets this tweet. I will read it to you verbatim. They tweet, saying,
As we look for the tweet.
as we look for the tweet, which I will find,
There it is.
they say, if you feel stagnant, uninspired, or unsure of your current direction, then switch it up and make an effing change. After posting this picture of Shanahan and Justin Fields, and all these other guys, but only tagging Shanahan or the Niners, the Niners and Justin Fields. They end up tweeting this. The tweet was deleted, but obviously some sparks flying here. Some potential to pick up a guy.
Yeah, well, the Niners are getting the best quarterback out of the draft outside of Trevor Lawrence right here, if that's what they're going to do here. This is an interesting thing going on right here with, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't be calling Jimmy G that average and Colin Cowherd. Oh my God, look how pretty Jimmy G is.
He's in the same tier as...
Yeah, he's in the same tier as Patrick Mahomes.
Apparently.
But,
according to Cowherd, tier 2 guy.
I wouldn't be too concerned about this QB collective stuff. I mean, Kyle Shanahan's just there. He seems like a low-key guy. He seems like a guy that's not giving out much information. He probably demanded the tweet deleted just for personal privacy. I wouldn't look too much into it, but I would still think there's some QB speculation going on to the 49ers until the draft's over.
That's what I take away from this for sure.
Yeah.
I take away that, it kind of made me think a little bit more that you have to really, as an NFL team, you're a business. You're trying to maximize your wins, maximize your profits, So you got to be exploring all options at all times. And, they say Jimmy's our guy. He's had the injuries, as Joe Montana said on First Take today. He's had the injuries.
Yeah.
You got to look for some sort of safety net. You got to always be looking for a better option. That's just how you go about your business in the NFL.
Rosen.
And then you have this tossed in there, the QB collective tweet whole fiasco. It gets you thinking. It really does. And unlike Chris, I'm a big Justin Fields fan. I think he's got a lot of upside.
I don't know how you couldn't be.
Exactly. It gets me excited. But what were you going to say about Herbert?
Well, I was going to ask if Brandon Staley goes to that camp, the new head coach of the Chargers.
I'm not sure.
Because I was wondering if that tweet was directed at the Chargers. Because I know the Chargers have a really...
They have a problem with quarterback.
They have an issue at quarterback. That's the first thing I thought of when you sent that tweet to us. Los Angeles Chargers. Because they're the team with the biggest problem with quarterback in the entire league, I would think. I think Cam Newton's better than Justin Herbert. I think the Patriots are better off.
Okay, all right.
He is. Hold on, though. This is one thing I got to say some more on. About this clown sitting over here right now. You're kidding me right now, are you? With Justin Fields. You're kidding me.
Listen, I have a lot of analysis that I've received from people on TV.
I will say this. If he's right, though, I will apologize to this man because I really feel firmly about this case.
Chris Sims and Chris
Sims and Ryan Clark because he thinks the Mormon Mahomes is better than Trevor Lawrence somehow. This quarterback controversy right here is ridiculous right here. The only good thing for the Chargers is they trade up and get Justin Fields. They'll be getting an upgraded quarterback.
That's all I know.
I
agree with that. We'll get an upgrade if they take him. But listen, he has problem with reading defenses and he has problem with pressure. I mean, I'm looking at this article right now. There's a major concern.
This is the same guy, everybody, who says that Jacob deGrom is not a good pitcher just because he loses. This is the same guy. And now he's saying that Justin Fields, who's lost 2 games in his college career, is now a loser.
I didn't say he was a loser.
Did he not say that?
Because they're the team with the biggest problem with quarterback in the entire league, I would think. I think Cam Newton's better than Justin Herbert. I think that the system. He's a product of
Ohio State. Come on, get out of
Haskins
here.
had a much better.
And so was Brady.
So was Brady. Haskins was better at Ohio State. Didn't he lose like TCU?
He had a better year.
He did not have a better year. He did not have a better year. He did not.
Look at the stats.
Justin Fields had like 7 incomplete passes.
Yeah, for the first few games of the season.
Dude, he threw like 82% his sophomore year.
You know why? Because Ryan Day gets somebody open on the first read every time.
Oh, yeah.
He gets the first read. He's like Jimmy Garoppolo, honestly.
Oh, my God.
Loves the first read. He'd be perfect for Shanahan. He always gets the first read guy open. I'd like to see him get the second or third read.
He's so wrong about Justin Fields. I can't stress this enough. He does throw to his first read a little bit. That's so fixable. Do you know how fixable that is?
You can't just fix. No.
Really? Patrick Mahomes had the same issue. He's pretty good. But you would rather have Russell Wilson because he throws for 10 yards in playoff games and throws interceptions on the 1 yard line. So you'd rather have Russell Wilson because he's a freaking loser who has 1 Super Bowl and should have 4, but he can't because he throws interceptions on the 1 yard line.
Nobody has the arm talent that Patrick Mahomes does. You can't just make that up. If you can't read defenses, you can't play in the NFL. And I don't think Justin Fields can read defenses.
So you don't think Justin Fields has good arm strength?
I think he's a great arm.
Then why are you saying this is ridiculous?
Listen. The thing is, like Justin Fields, he's playing Power 5
How
teams.
dare you embarrass him by saying that his floor is Justin Herbert or his ceiling? That's ridiculous.
Okay. But the thing is,
quarterback in the league. That's ridiculous.
Let's calm down.
Joe Burrow.
Justin Fields. He plays Power 5 teams all year, plays the top competition, plays Clemson.
He's lost 2 games.
Runs Clemson, right? So you're going to tell me
With broken ribs.
that him putting up the stats that he does against the teams that he plays is not as good as Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, who play for North Dakota State and BYU, put up numbers that, like, maybe compare, probably aren't even as good, but they are going to be better at reading defenses in the NFL than a guy who's faced defenses far better than any defense either one of these guys has seen every week. So that doesn't make sense.
The last good quarterback to come out of outside the Power 5 is Jimmy Garoppolo, and he's your favorite quarterback in the league. So I don't know why you're talking all this about Trey Lance being good. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
I never said that.
This is ridiculous. He will say that Justin Fields doesn't get off his first read, and then he'll watch Kellen Mond and say this guy's good, who literally can't even throw the football. He's just tried left-handed because he can't throw right-handed. He literally throws freaking screen passes all game, gets bailed out by Marco Wilson, the shoe thrower, who sucks. He gets bailed out, Kellen Mond. And you're trying to tell me this guy is better than Justin Fields, who completes over 80% of his passes, and you're going to tell me he's not going to be good in the NFL because he can't read defenses, which is the most teachable thing in the NFL.
Listen, if it was teachable, they would have done it.
This is ridiculous. God, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Who was the last good quarterback?
This is ridiculous. This is not the end.
Last good quarterback.
This is ridiculous.
Come out of Ohio State.
That's ridiculous. The last good quarterback to come out of Ohio State?
Terrell Pryor?
Probably,
Dwayne Haskins?
Probably, yeah.
JT Barrett? I mean, come on. It's a product of the system.
But Ryan Day wasn't in the system.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
He wasn't
the different system.
coordinator.
It's a different system.
The offensive coordinator.
For one season.
It
It's
doesn't
not
matter.
my fault Dwayne Haskins picks up a DUI every week. This is ridiculous.
That will do it. Thank you for joining us.
It's embarrassing.